Warning. Some viewers may find the following topics and conversations in this episode triggering. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. If you're struggling with any of the issues described, please seek professional advice and we send you our support. Let's get into the show.
Vexxed Uncensored presents Saint Remastered. The album features 11 Dolby restored tracks, written from 2011 to 2021 by Saint. It boasts an R&B pop sound with multi-octave vocals. Listen everywhere now. Welcome back to Vexxed Uncensored with me, Mo Vader.
And me, Saint.
And on today's show, we have got a turbulent show.
A melange.
Yes, it's going to be a bit, no offense to anybody, and we don't mean to discriminate at all, but it's going to be bipolar. It's going to jump around.
Oh, yeah, for real. There's no point topics being out there and us sitting here being PC about it, so...
Yeah, there's no point. Unfortunately, I will be offending some people today because equality.
That's only natural. Can't really live without offending someone.
Someone always has to be offended. You can't please everyone.
Ain't trying either.
Nah, if I can.
At least not in this episode.
I don't give a fuck.
But yeah, we're gonna get into some hot topics. Wait.
Yeah, fuck it, go on. We'll have a catch up at the end of the show.
Okay.
I'm gonna dip my hand into the cookie jar first.
Okay.
It's a little bit closer.
See what we land on. Let's see if it's a hot one or a cold one.
Is it hot? Oh shit! Straight off the bat.
Really?
Straight off the bat.
Oh wow. Okay.
Okay. So our first topic. It seems as I guess we'll start with the storm and probably work our way into the lighter side of life. But a major social and I guess gender-based shift in the tides has occurred in the United States of America.
Yeah, and we all know something happens in the States, it happens everywhere.
Yes, it does. The domino effect is beginning. States have been given the...
Is it Supreme Court?
Yeah, the Supreme Court case Wade versus Roe, which, if I'm correct, the case in itself was about the right to abortion, or the right for a particular state to infringe on the right of a person to have an abortion.
Okay.
And I've got a feeling that I'm wrong because I'm
we're not American.
Yeah, we're not. And frankly, I know this is going to offend, but my focal point on the matter is on the topic of the abortion and not so much on Wade versus Roe.
Right.
So the outcome from the abortion. So I don't know if it's that one particular part of the court case went and had an abortion in another state, returned to a state that it's not allowed,
right,
where it's banned, and they have then been prosecuted or whatever's come of it. But what the focus of the particular topic that we're speaking on now is that states have the freedom to dictate whether abortion is legal, illegal, or if there's certain stipulations that need to be met. So the state of Utah is our sole example that I'm going to speak on. Abortions are illegal for all reasons.
In Utah.
Right. For all reasons illegal, except for if it will impair the mother's health.
Yeah.
That parameter is not particularly... It's a broad parameter.
Right.
So I'm pretty sure that with some money behind you and the right lawyer, an impairment of your health could be anything from PTSD, any mental health issues that may come from pregnancy, any hormone imbalances, but you would have to be able to push that through the courts to have a legal procedure.
Right, so it has to be approved.
Yeah,
Right.
it's got to be approved and justifiable under the banner of it will affect negatively impair, affect, or be a risk to the mother's health. Any other reasons? All of the reasons that were listed in like philosophy classes or discussions amongst friends and family: incest, rape, a drunken night out, a drunken night in, Tinder date, Bumble date, no free advertising.
I mean, obviously not obviously, people listening might not know, but in Britain, I mean, you can get a legal abortion if a medical doctor does it, and it's not past a 24-week development cycle. And I don't believe there's much gating on, is there a reason? Yeah. And just to bring up, like, because I'm not American, but just watching a series the other week, it's called The Flight Attendant. How funny, as it's flying through the sky, seeing the plane fly through the sky. But it's called Flight Attendant, and she thought she might be pregnant, the main girl, so she ended up she reached out to someone like online, and it was like an organisation. So this organisation met with her and said like all the really bad things about abortion. She was breaking it down to the girl like, look, this is what they do, this is how they do it, like really graphic stuff. And she was like, oh my goodness, what? She ends up going to an actual abortion clinic, because that was an organisation, it wasn't to actually get one, so it was like a before you go type thing. And the doctor in the abortion clinic just said, look, I don't really need to know what your personal reasons are, it's just whether you want one or not. And then when she said yes, I want one, she gave her a tablet in a box and said, just take these, and pretty much. So she went from thinking that it was done old school, or not even old school, in the ways that's further along, which is, I know it's graphic, but like breaking down speculum and breaking, and it's horrible. So and traumatic for any human being, I'm sure, who has to undergo that. But it's come to a point where that's as much as I know. I'm not American, don't live in any states, you know what I mean? Haven't had to experience any of the abortion legalities or not, don't even know what they truly are. But I do believe this was like, I think the state itself or the lower governments were trying to push it through, and the Christian conservative like society was pushing it through, and it got further than anyone thought it would. So then it's gone to the Supreme Court. Everyone's thinking the Supreme Court's going to be like, it's not going to go through, and it has gone through. So majority of states, I believe, it's now banned. I think like 8 on the same day, within hours, 8 major abortion clinics shut down. So
that's going to cost a lot of jobs. That's going to have an impact on the economy. But I guess in the long run, it will boost the economy, because after all,
more humans, more
GDP, population. Fun fact though, wasn't it within last year or even within this year, the whole notion of overpopulation and everything is going to run out by 2030 if we don't reduce the world.
They're always talking about that. I know the whole there is a scheme by the UN and the EU, I believe, which is by 2030, and that is to do with turning back, but improving, what's it called? Climate change, legal stuff, the way crops and it's basically trying to reorganize. The New World Order is what it's actually called, and that's not just like some sort of tagline or fear mongering thing. It's actually go to the New World Order, I think it's .eu something, and you go to the official website, and it says it's basically reorganizing society to make it better. That's in the joint governmental, I think there's 52 countries involved, it's a whole thing. So in the next 10 years we're expected, I think they're planning to increase city populations, so basically move everyone out of the country and the free places where I guess you get to do kind of what you want, where people own land and stuff, privatize everything, move everyone so they can be surveilled in cities, I guess, and that's better for the environment, because and all farming will be controlled by them, food supply, everything's privatized, so it's the government will essentially own every aspect of society, which I don't think anyone's clocking in on. I think they're just talking about climate control.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what that is. The whole I don't think anyone expected this to happen.
Well, people didn't expect Trump to become president. He did it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a woman, so I do have personal views on this, but I'm not a woman, so it's not so I can go to a doctor and ask for, because it's not available to me. I ain't got no reason or need for it. So
I personally
can't really talk.
I personally don't own anything. I don't have any possessions. I don't own shit. I don't have no social status, no social media status. I don't give a fuck, and I cannot be cancelled.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
I will say, I know
I've got an album to sell, don't I? So
yeah, you better behave yourself. Keep your opinions to yourself. But
look, I will say, and I'm not like, I always say, I guess, what I feel, but it's no shock. I'm a Christian. If you read the Bible, you know what that means. I know we're going to get into topics on incest and rape and stuff when it comes to this topic, because I think it's important. But as a male, like, I don't have any first-hand experience or need for the procedure. It's a procedure that's available, and that's why they're able to ban it, because it's not like a woman has biologically an option to miscarry if she doesn't feel like carrying the baby, or if something bad happened. There's no biological, God didn't put that in there. So it's a procedure, and if they ban a procedure, you're not going to be able to go and get it done, or you're going to have to get it done on the streets, which you're most likely going to die from, because it's dangerous. And
you might not die.
For me, like, I don't have to carry a baby from being raped or nothing like that. Like, I don't have to think about that as a man. I don't have to think about that.
I'm sure there's some veterans out there that have survived a couple goes at the coat.
Yeah. But I do believe all life deserves to live. Doesn't matter if you're born disabled. Doesn't matter if you're a child of incest or a child of anything. I do believe, and I have seen and known people who have been through such terrible things, and they've come out of it on the other end, and you would never know anything. So there is hope, and I just do feel like pregnant women are susceptible to a lot of, like, what do I do in that situation?
Yeah.
A lot of women are even educated on, like, men and women, girls and boys are sorry. Wait, we were barely educated on sex. So who's educating the girls on? Guess what? If you do this thing and by accident or not by accident or something bad happens, you got to carry a whole human. I've got
to. I'm so sorry. I've got to interject there.
Yeah.
I was a sexual professor. Oh, sorry.
Oh, a professor.
I was a sexual professor, and I knew and was completely 100% aware of HPV, HIV.
Oh yeah,
AIDS,
yeah. They tell you about all that.
Chlamydia.
Yeah, they get you scared of sex. They do that, right?
No, they advertised it to me.
They showed us the pictures in, like, primary school and stuff, and we're like,
yeah, and they bring in those little plastic willies. You put the condoms on.
No, not in my school.
Yeah, you see,
Christian school, no.
That's what happens.
Ain't no plastic willies, and
Yeah, no, my school they brought them in, and I think the plastic willies they brought them in.
What, secondary school?
Yeah, secondary.
Not in. I've never not no class I was in.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a shame. It's a shame, but I knew. Yes.
I wonder why.
Like, even the pull-out method, it's not reliable.
Yeah.
I knew that, but I'm a gambling man. I play roulette.
Yeah. Well, some of us start off way younger. Why? With through means that are acceptable and means that are not unacceptable. Yeah, we're not going to get that deep, but yeah, some of us start off younger. We don't know what the fuck we're doing at the end of the day. We grow up still being that immature in that aspect of life, and no one's trying to sit down with us, educate us. Like, unless you're from a family where it's an open book. And to me, if you come from a black family or anything like that, that's not normal and does not happen.
Yeah, no.
Talk about sex. You can just about hear it in a song.
Well, you can just about hear it coming from the next room in the middle of the night.
Oh, I never got to have to hear that hallelujah.
Didn't you? Oh, I did. I did, and
our room was next door actually to my parents' room when I was a kid, and I didn't hear nothing.
You must have slept heavy because it was happening.
It must have been. There's like 3 kids in the house.
It had to. Yeah, I guess now that we've kind of livened the mood up a bit, I don't feel like kicking the master down. Although
no, like, why not? I mean, talk about it, because at first I've been dodging it for weeks anyway, especially on the podcast, and it's just because honestly males aren't allowed opinions on these situations, and even if they are, it has to be in support of, like, you're not allowed your own opinion. So whereas mine isn't even tied to like religion, because honestly I've had the view since I was a kid. Like, and I didn't grow up in a religious household. I just went to a religious school and then ended up being a Christian myself. So it's not actually tied to none of that.
Nah, fuck
at
it.
all for me.
Okay, you just brought me back to I've got to make the point.
Yeah.
I've got to say it.
Okay.
Here we go. Finally, one little drop towards genuine social and legal equality.
Yeah.
For the last, say, 15 to 20 years, there's been a legal sense of equality, but there hasn't been a social and moral sense of equality. There has been a slice of society running around with the narrative of, oh, you know, you shoot up the club and then you don't clean up the mess or look after what happens from it.
Yeah.
And I'm not honing in onto any extremities or extreme.
You're talking
cases.
about general.
I'm talking
casual,
about general casual
relationship type shit, or casual sex,
or
type
casual
shit.
sex and this and that. Now, we go into a sexual encounter from two different angles. Now, one aspect shoots up the club, still got to go and get on with things.
Right.
The other aspect gets shot up,
Right.
and has to deal and resolve what is still left there.
Right.
So with that, there is also an element of preventing abuse of systems where people are using abortion as a contraceptive.
Yeah, let me just think on a society level, like just person to person, regardless of, like, let me think of a character, right, and a friend, and if like the girl was living her life like that really openly and saying that she was more likely, instead of using contraception in the bedroom because it brings up some sort of, like, in some people bury their heads in the sand, they're using like morning after pills or abortion pills as contraceptions, like, I would be like, what?
It happens.
Regardless of whether that's a factor for me in my life or not, I would still be like, I'm not gonna lie, I would have judgment. Like, I would be like, that's not what that's for. Like, that's supposed to be, right? Supposed to be by society standards, a complete last minute, like, oh wow, oh shit, let me handle this because that wasn't the intention, it broke, or something's happened.
Yeah.
This pill didn't work, or whatever the heck.
You know what? There was a point where, with one of my, and I don't mean to toot my horn or slag myself out, but with one of my many past acquaintances, I had learnt to count her days. I learnt her days. I learnt her cycle. I'm shooting up the club and there's no pregnancies.
I'm sorry, look, if the other person agrees and there's no issue there and they're handling it or not, because you do expect, since there's contraceptives that have been so, they're a part of female life, right? Have been for a very long time, decades and decades and decades. So, as young as, I don't want to say, you know what I mean, having to be put on birth control, some for stupid reasons as well. Mothers put their kids on birth controls for, like, to help them with their period, which you're not meant to do, or like to help them with, like, weight. Like, I don't know, weird. I've seen quite a few, like, depictions over my years of documentaries or films or TV shows where a mother will, like, put their 13-year-old daughter, whether she's, you know, graduating or not, on birth control for other methods, which is this what I'm saying. As long as you put a drug on the market and it's there and it's available, guess what? You can use it in private how you want, like, abuse it to hell. And I don't know, like, I don't know what the Supreme Court's decisions factors, like, were. I do know, like, around the world, it's ever since abortion's been existed. I've seen the first abortion ever was in Soviet Union, and that was the first place it was legal. So it's something that started in one place and it's become readily available across the planet. There's been issues when it just comes man and woman. Like, okay, well, one of us has the ability to, get rid of a child, and one of us doesn't have a say.
Yeah.
If it's happened, unfortunately, like.
I tell
horrible,
you what,
but
I tell you what. Watch out in the next coming couple of years.
yeah,
there's going to be a lot more single fathers, a lot more men stepping up and having their children, or having their child based off of a mother has had to see a pregnancy through.
Yeah.
There's going to be an influx of.
And please don't get rid of your children just because the other man don't want to be involved or nothing. Like, that's really. And I've known people. I'm not talking out of, like, I'm judging people or just bringing this out of the air. I'm talking about, I've known girls who, because the person, they wanted the child, and because the person doesn't want to be with them or something's gone wrong, they don't want the child because it's a solo responsibility.
They didn't want the child. They
like, that's just
man.
a societal. That's the problem with your relationship. You can get men where the woman is like they're not the greatest partner. Like, that's more like a relationship issue. Why does it have to now become the child's issue? Why is the child now in jeopardy when it was? Do you know what I mean? Like, that's not logical. Even
the girl wanted the man. She didn't want the child.
Right, and it's like, this is what I'm saying, and this is why people think, like, all that people like slut shaming people when they're saying don't be too promiscuous, don't be, just as a person, don't be too promiscuous. It's not slut shaming. It's so you don't get pregnant. That's why.
Somewhere along the lines, right? All of the PC culture and all of the, I'm not going to say the F word because the F word's banned, just like the C word.
The F word.
Yeah.
Oh.
Have
we sworn yet? I'm just wondering, have we? No. Should we try and keep it clean for YouTube? Why not?
Well, when I said the F word, I didn't even mean the FUCK word.
That's what
I meant the one inists. I'm just gonna say it, feminists.
Oh.
The feminists and the feminist movement has.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of I don't know. Well, yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Because I don't know too much about feminists, honestly.
Don't you?
Mm-mm.
Well,
only what the name suggests.
Yeah.
But there's so many forms of feminism, just like there's so many forms of Christianity, there's so many forms of Islam, there's so many forms of, like, everything.
Yeah. Well, extremists on the extreme end of feminism, you've got what would be like women are better than men.
Oh, okay.
Up, just completely
superiority.
Yeah, superiority. Completely do a U-turn of the social construct and of how society has worked and progressed up until this point.
Mm-hmm.
Milder forms would be those that argue women are still not remunerated for their time appropriately in the workplace.
Of course, yeah.
Women undergo harassment and so forth in workplace. Rape crimes are not
taken seriously.
Harassment is not taken seriously.
Yeah.
And then in milder forms, I'll say the mildest forms would simply be, I'm paraphrasing, so I don't think there is a milder form. I think the mildest form is,
like, I knew about the suffragettes in our history, but I don't know any feminists.
That is a complete different ballpark.
Yeah, different time, different, man.
That was more to do with,
like, for sure, burn your bras in them situations. Like, burn your fucking bras. You know what I mean? Like, even down to that, it was literally women had to wear. It was so unacceptable to not wear a bra. So, yeah, I understand. Like, I understand women. I understand them just as a tribe, in the sense of every segment of society feels like at some point there's going to be people who are going to be like in the air about who they are and what they are.
Even the creation of bras, and them being adopted into an undergarment. Originally, it started off as a bloke that saw his wife complained of back pain, of this and that and that and this. I think he was a tailor. He fashioned a bra for her. Her back pain eased, and
Yeah, big titties most likely.
Yeah, tig bitties. I love them.
Strung them up, and
yeah, and
got on the way.
It caught on. Brazil.
Yeah, anything new catches on, innit?
Yeah, and of course, eventually, like all things of convenience or of extra, that's kind of extra.
Mm-hmm.
It's a luxury when it's introduced, but that luxury becomes a necessity, and that necessity becomes
expected. It's taken for granted.
Expectation. So now,
because then it will turn into a sex object instead of being an undergarment that you're not even meant to see.
Yeah.
Oh, have you seen them YouTube videos of the remastered footage of like the 1920s of just like on the street and people walking around?
Yeah, as I watched
and the carriages.
Of the Second World War.
How well dressed? Was everybody, everyone, even the people, orphans that they put in movies and they're all dirty and that, bruv, they were wearing, like the poorer clothing, still tailored to fuck, still like clean, smart. I'm sitting here like, society has actually denigrated, like it actually has.
Yeah, it has.
And I'm seeing every single person, like, I think it was here I saw some recently, and it was in the Victorian time, but there was black people around, Indian people around, like, do you know what I mean? Not sure equal in society, but like I'm looking at everything. The streets were clean. The people were like so well dressed, covered up, but respectful. Everyone wore hats.
Yeah.
I'm like, listen.
Did you notice?
Happened?
Did you notice their posture?
Their posture, the way they carry themselves. That everyone's speaking politely, and like even the Cockneys being polite about it. Like, I'm just sitting here like, what the fuck has happened?
Mm-hmm.
Why are we being made to think history's dirty and everything was so rough and everything's just improved since then? It's worse now.
It's worse now. Absolutely.
That same street's a shithole now.
Yeah, yeah. Even the clips of Deptford High Street, Deptford Market.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, okay. It was referred to as squalor.
Yeah.
So imagine what the higher classes and the well-to-do were living like if they were referring to
that is squalor.
Yeah.
Mad.
Mm-hmm.
And you think of the technology, bro, I'm sorry, the cars were still moving down the street.
Yep.
They were doing just fine. The horses didn't seem like they were under distress or duress. They were fine.
Yeah.
What has happened? Everyone's just casually crossing, like there's no barriers. It didn't feel like now we're looking at society, there's barriers everywhere. Don't go here. Stop this. Like this plate, like alleyways and everything's just you're like pointed around. There it just seemed like just open, everything's built well, and let's get on with life.
Yeah. Fear is a disease.
Yeah.
No fear, no surrender.
Yeah.
The moment that you have fear in your heart, the lunacy that comes from that fear. Society at some point let fear into their heart, and it was a wrap from there.
Scared, like just everyone's just detached and pushing people away. Obviously technology gives you that permission or that reason to be detached. Everyone's like the same now. There's only city folk who are usually a bit more detached than everyone outside in the country. Yeah. Where now everyone is detached. So
do you know funny thing? In the countryside, there is more of a sense of community than in the city. In the city, I will say, yes, there are those pockets of community.
Yeah, we do it our way though, innit?
Yeah, but
very private.
Those are closed communities.
Very much.
Those are, outsiders are kept out. What goes on within the community is dealt with within the community. Yeah. But
everyone I know who's moved here from overboard, first thing they say is, wow, it's not easy here, and as everyone says it is, and two, no one's that friendly. Yeah, this is London.
Yeah, you can't be. You can't be.
Polite and cordial. Friendly? Different thing, innit?
Nah. Well, get on the commuter trains and we'll see how polite and friendly people are. Or I'm telling you, my ears get hot on those commuter trains. I'm ready to go for throats.
I used to leave late for work just so I'm missing at least half an hour of that hot mess, because as soon as it turns like past 9:05, the trains and tubes thin out. I get to sit and like breathe.
I'm lactose intolerant, and people with this, with this affliction,
right.
There is a trademark scent that comes from your farts.
Eggy Wawa.
Yeah, it's worse than Eggy Wawa. It's like hot, putrid, lingering stench. On the
Boil it up and sell it to someone, son. But someone will buy that. That's
someone
the
will
thing
take
now.
a whiff of that and be like, oh, oy. Yeah. But on a particular train on the London Overground, every morning there is a culprit that is just poisoning the
gassing up the air,
poisoning it, and I had to start being late.
Yeah,
late or early.
Yeah,
I'll show up
early.
to work.
Yeah.
I'll show up to work 20 to 30 minutes early. To avoid that train, because I knew there is someone on that train that is always farting up the place.
Rank.
And there we go. Social degradation.
Yeah.
And all right, fine. If the US has decided that they're going to start wheeling
this is the thing.
In.
I know everyone's getting angry, okay? I even seen Glastonbury's just happened here this weekend, and everyone's doing an art piece about abortion now. Here's the thing, okay? There are plenty of countries on the planet that with laws that I do not agree with, just as a person, yeah? Even if I visit a country, living in a country, I've lived in countries that I don't agree with the laws, you know what I mean? And guess what? That's the way it is. Like, this whole, a lot of people are talking about things they don't even know about. Never experienced, hasn't touched their life. Do you know what I mean? They were never told, oh, well, I was thinking about being aborted. Like that, I've never been told that, but some people have.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Just
imagine.
There's a whole plethora. It's a topic that can't really be narrowed down to just you're on this side and you're on this side, because it's not black and white.
Yeah.
Too many big players involved as well that either profit off of it, or on a societal factor, it's got to impact their economy. It's this thing that has become a big part of human life, and it's a medical procedure.
Yeah.
So let's just be, real about it. But I don't know. It's just
we personally wouldn't be here if our parents chose to abuse the procedure, or if
that's how a lot of families were made, accidents.
Yeah.
Usually the youngest child of your family was most likely an accident, if the rest weren't. You know what I mean?
Well, the first and the last.
Yeah.
The first and the last, unless
I think you're right, actually.
Except if your parents were, say, over 30 in today's day and age,
or married. There's no such thing as an accidental birth in marriage. That's silly.
It's true, 'cause,
you're married, like
you're married. You're gonna get kids.
That's what. It's natural.
Yeah, but the statistics don't lie. There's a certain slice of the YouTube community that.
Do you know what else has just sprung up in my mind? Yeah, that's another topic following the whole abortion topic. Is they're saying, okay, now this has happened, they're saying next the Supreme Court are going to have to be thinking about increasing contraception and accessibility. Yeah. So not even just the afters, the befores.
Yeah. And
the thing with gay marriage, like broadening that out, because that's the me, which is quite funny, because that's like what. So you're saying there's no such thing as abortion, or you're banning it. So if there is accidental births, or if there is like pregnancies that the man might not want to be involved with, that he can opt out of that completely into gay marriage.
Fucking brilliant. Fucking brilliant.
Because how are you connecting the two otherwise? I had to do a bit of back checking of their mentality of why that's even connected, gay marriage and obviously I know contraception, obviously, but the gay marriage and the abortion thing. Because that's like, wow, that's just really is. It is, right?
Yeah.
And only now would they be thinking of that.
Exactly.
I'm confused.
Because a lot of these things have been discussions that happen behind closed doors.
And I don't know who isn't bisexual. I don't know. I just feel like that's just, I don't know. Social. Obviously trans, we'll talk about someone else later. I think that's
social degradation.
I have a spot on the transphobic thing. That's apparently been out there, especially with the hip hop community.
Yeah.
And
you know what? Fuck it. I know we've got a bit of a structure, but we're on the topic, so let's go for it. I'm going to open by just simply saying, deception is deception, whether it's a right or not. So if you pursue a human being under the impression that has got the promised land.
Oh right, you mean just like your no disclosure?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you fucking make a disclosure, because you haven't. All right, let's say you decide to go all out. I'm a woman. I'm post-op. I'm this. I'm that.
Yeah.
At what point are you going to tell a man who wants a family, who wants
Oh, right,
children,
okay, yeah.
who wants all of these other things that come along with
Right.
you being identified as a, I can't believe I literally have to say this, but a natural born woman.
A cisgendered woman, it's called, yeah.
Cisgendered.
Yeah, apparently that, so...
fuck it, I'm not playing ball. I'm not
this is the thing. It's a new factor of society. If you like it or not, it's one of these things. So it's I have had to update my references in my head as far. I want to know what's going on sometimes. So here's what it is. Cisgender. These are scientific terms, and now they're being used societally. So cisgender means when you are born male, the sex male, and you identify also as a male. So, but if you're born the sex male and you don't identify as a male, then you're not cis. They take that out, and then you're trans. If you don't identify as anything, or you feel like you're in between, then there's non-binary, and that means you don't. They can either identify as both he and she, or they can identify as nothing. Like, don't just say they.
This is
the thing. Like, I don't agree with certain religions. There's things that I don't understand. It doesn't mean I have to have any less respect for these people, and I think this is what people like get scared of having these conversations, because they feel like as soon as you say something that's maybe not from your side of the tracks, that people are going to get offended. And I feel like if you're mature, then if listeners are mature, they're not gonna hopefully get offended. But how I feel is, yeah, there's things I don't understand, but I'll still sit at a table and talk to someone. Like, do you know what I mean? As far as the trans thing's concerned, I feel like I've learned about like the whole situation with trans people, and mainly through comedy, because there's quite a few trans, like the comedy, Flame Monroe, for instance, T.S. Madison, like in black culture, and they're very popular now, and they happen to be trans. T.S. Madison, not that you have to, I'm judging anyone's looks, but you would never know.
You know what?
Stuff like this. So I get what you're saying about like the trap would be feeling like someone hasn't disclosed. We now live in a society where that's accepted. It's same as back in the day. If someone was like, "Are you black?" Don't look black, but I'm black. I'm not passing. I'm not pretending. I'm not passing as a white person or pretending to be a white person. They don't feel like they're pretending to be anything, because they are in their minds, and out of respect, I believe what they believe. And as far as relationships, a date or two in, if they held out until then, I wouldn't be too mad. Then you can decide whether I want to stay around or not. But before
a date,
some people are scared of getting whacked in the face and all of that, you know.
You're less likely to get whacked in the face by telling someone from the jump, from the moment they speak to you. You say, "Hi, my name is so and so, and I am a trans." Whatever it is, whatever words you associate with, you tell them from the get-go. You don't wait until they've already taken out $75 or £75 to take you on a date. They got in their shit trimmed. They're opening car doors. They're pulling up. They're making cancellations and arranging themselves.
But this is where we've got that mold, that issue clash between old and new. So the old is any man can walk around and assume that someone who looks female is female, assume what's in their pants and everything. Yeah, take them to date and all this because they fit their category. This is the new world now. You cannot walk around and assume anything about no one. So that men are having to, through experiences they most likely would never put themselves in, are having to like catch up to that the hard way. And people are losing their lives, trans people, gay people, I don't know what, they're losing their lives over situations, and it's like, okay, this is only about like most likely a fuck. No one has to die over a fuck. Do you know what I mean? If it's mistaken, whatever, if that's not who you date or what you're interested in, you want kids and stuff, then yeah, of course, like 2 dates in or whatever, sure. Definitely don't want to be having to like be in a dating situation and someone's been respectful and you haven't had sex or whatever, and then you find out like they've withheld a big thing. That's like more of a problem. Still don't think it's worth killing anyone over. It's just being scared of something, the fear, and then going for it. And killing people.
No, the phobia thing. A phobia, arachnophobia.
It's when you're scared of something. Right. Have a fear of something.
They ain't scared. They just, it's not for them.
Right.
Are you gonna force Marmite on someone?
So you get up and you say, all right then, see you later, not for me, and that's it. I don't know.
But then what people are overlooking is that in a lot of these cases of this and that and that and this, and I'm remembering vaguely, right? Very vaguely, there was, again, this is in the US, there was someone who was a transgendered woman, who was seeing a man that was on the down low. Now that man,
what are they on the down low as?
They were sleeping with the transgender woman.
But what does that make them? Straight man.
They was on the down low.
Straight. He thought he was dating a woman, so he's a straight man.
Because
he's on the down low.
I think he knew. Oh, okay. And he's on the down low because
he likes trans women specifically.
I've got a feeling that the trans woman was pre-op, meaning there's a penis. So this man was also in a relationship with a woman.
That's what I'm saying.
So the trans woman decided to expose the man. The man then murdered the woman, the trans woman.
Right.
So this man in particular was like, right, well, I'm assuming I cannot justify what they said. I don't agree with murder because of that. If you are doing something on the down low with someone and it comes out, you got to wear your shirt. Otherwise, don't do.
I mean, what you mad about?
Yeah.
Sorry, what are you mad about?
Yeah, because obviously
it's good enough to do in private.
Exactly. All things that happen in the dark come out in light. To light. All lies told come out to be exposed.
Yeah.
But in an instance where there is omission, then someone's reaction, you don't get the right to dictate someone's reaction. So just like a phone contract, just like a utility bill, you must permit people to make an informed decision.
Right. Here's the thing, though. Right. So if you think of trans women, so that's now a woman, right? Societally, if you want to think of everything, whatever, and it's like they're the ones they want and go for in society as they identify as a woman is a straight male. So here's the other thing, like, you got to remember what you're prey for. So if a certain bracket of society finds you attractive, it's good to know that, so that you can have your eyes open. They need to know that people who are going to be interested in them other than what they're interested in. I get approached from all different aspects, not all the time, but like from people who I'm sure they're nice, but I'm just not interested.
Yeah.
For one reason or the other. And I don't get offended. I think it's a compliment, and I move on with my day.
The thing is,
do you know what I mean? Like
this now is going outside of the topic of specifically trans.
Right.
People generally live their lives as the star of their own movies.
Yes.
And they run their own narrative, and they impose and expect that narrative to be reflected by everyone else.
Yeah, like mirrors.
Yeah, that's pandering. Yeah. No one owes you to pander to your narrative. Nope. So if your experience of life is that you are a woman, so be it. But be mature and be rational enough to accept and acknowledge that that is not going to be the same.
Don't be airheaded.
Yeah.
Men or women or trans people, like none of you should be being airheaded about the realities of your life. Like, who likes you, who you like, does that make sense? Is that socially accepted? Like, be aware of it. You're still gonna get yours. Everyone does get theirs one way or the other.
And
you
thing is with
dog eat dog out here.
With the element of honesty, you would be surprised just how many people will be like, all right, fuck it, I'll give it a go. I'll try anything once. But without that informed decision, human beings have a way of having erratic and irrational responses to situations and events that they don't understand. And not making that disclosure can put you
in danger,
at risk. Don't put yourself at risk because you want to have your cake and eat it too.
And then there is this other thing that I thought about as well. So with them, I think, who is it? Anyway, so I'm thinking, obviously trans people exist. Yeah. They've existed for a very long time, millennia, I think, at this point.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about ancient Egypt, all that, They've been around. So it's like one of these situations where eventually the trans part will fall off. Do you know this? Sex changes are going to happen younger and younger because they're happening younger and younger, whether anyone agrees with it or not. And it's going to be a situation where the trans falls off, and there will be identified and accepted in society as male and female, because if you want to compare barren to a barren male or female, or someone who can't have children, that's really the only differentiating factor metabolically. So it will fall off. It might be 20 years, 30 years, but we're at that point now. So just keep that in mind, everyone, because
the ribs.
You're complaining. Everyone's kind of making things about something in 20, 30 years you most likely wouldn't give two shits about. You got to remember, you're not going to die tomorrow, hopefully, most of you, and you're going to get older and think, what the fuck was I even mad about?
Truth is, I'm pretty sure we're not that far off.
If you talk to any 70-year-old, some of the stories they've got, if they really told their stories of in the 40s and what was, listen, it's mind blowing.
Yeah, because
in the war and in the army and
yeah, hold him down.
Oh, wait, ain't that one of the topics we're talking about? But we didn't get to J.K. Rowling, and that's why we're talking about this whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
Because we ain't just talking about this for no reason. We don't we don't care what you are, what you do. But J.K. Rowling, what do we say about her?
Warner Brothers is moving themselves to detaching and disassociating from J.K. Rowling. So the Harry Potter series, merchandise, products and so forth, the actors and the cast, in interviews, whenever they are asked about J.K. Rowling, they no comment the shit out of it. They don't make any comments. They don't speak about contact with her. And J.K. Rowling, up until the whole transphobia cancellation thing, has, I guess, advertising and marketing has plummeted. People are disassociating with her. And thing is,
it's getting prank called and embarrassing.
And it's all about the ECG awards, ECG rating or EKG rating. What's that rating system about? ESG. There we go. So all of this boils down to ESG ratings and I guess elements of society, communities in the internet society. Holding organizations and individuals hostage and silencing their freedom of speech. You
have to fit a certain mold these days to have anything that's controlled by an algorithm, which is everything at this point. To recognize your art or your whatever you put out, you have to match what they're putting down. So you have to be woke in the sense of not real woke, but woke enough to that you're like open to everyone's sensibilities and on the fence.
In closed brackets, woke is equal to pandering. You're just it's pandering.
You're making people.
They'll throw their toys out of their pram. They'll pull their investment money. They'll cancel you. They'll harass you.
Pretty much.
They'll send you death threats. They'll order pizzas to your house. They'll swat your home. They'll harass you, your children, your family with death threats and everything. That's imagine if your whole community was subject to that treatment.
Well, this is the thing. There's no secret now. It's not a secret that J.K. Rowling has an issue with trans people, specifically, it seems. It's quite funny because she's, I'm guessing, friendly to people of either, whether it's a gay background, lesbian, like whatever, because she's the one that made Albus Dumbledore gay. She wrote that in.
I don't think she has a problem with trans people. If I remember correctly, the tweet that brought the House of Cards down was literally that she, as a woman, does not feel comfortable referring to a trans woman the same way that she would refer to a woman who was born with ovaries in the womb and menstruates. That was all she said. And there was uproar.
Because trans community, this is the thing. People say communities, and it's like there isn't really any communities. It's just the overall tagline. But trans community, cause trans people are all individuals. They all think differently. But anyway, she said more shit since then as well. And I get that she might not want to. She says she might not think of them the same or address them the same or feel like they're the same thing. But whether she wants to or not, they want to be referred with the same. And here's this tricky thing: I don't get why she's even saying this stuff, because being a female is scientific. Being a woman is a societal construct. Same as you can be a male, but like you can say to a man, "You're not a man. You're not being a man," because being a male is a societal construct. So it's completely made up. Boys like blue, girls like pink. There's enough men walking around in pink, and there's enough girls walking around in blue. So it's a societal construct. Here's the thing with her: she's talking about sex, original sex, gender, and she's talking about that biology. No one's trying to get J.K. Rowling or anyone else to be like a natural born woman is the same as a trans woman. That's why there's trans and cis. That's why there's two differentiating markers. So she's saying like, I don't want to refer to you like it's the same. When because they're not the same. No one's asked her to do that.
When was cis? When was the term cis adopted?
Cis is scientifically, it's always been for, what do they call them, studies or anything like that. It's always normative to put cis when it just means born as you are what you are, to explain both scientific, mental, like just everything. And then if there's off skew, then there's trans, then there's hermaphrodites, then it's like a system, but it's scientific. It's adopted by society.
It would be nice. It would be nice if people put that same energy into ethics, morals, and human compassion.
Yeah.
Because all of this energy going into what name, how someone is referred to, how they're I guess accepted.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
It would be nice to see that, because hey, there'll be a hell of a lot of fat and ugly people that would be a lot happier,
right,
and feel less judged.
How about all the black and brown people that have never really been called what they want to be called, or like there's a bunch of us that don't get to be fucking revered or respected. Who is respected these days?
What is respect?
But J.K. Rowling is trying to be like, obviously she's a straight white woman, and she has no place talking about racial issues. She has no place as far as a black person's perspective, or she can't talk about being gay because she's not gay. She can't talk about being bi because she's not bi. She can't talk about being trans because she's not trans. She can only speak from a white woman straight perspective, and that perspective is that she has an issue with biology. And again, maybe she should just like mind her business and count her money. But the thing with the companies are, you've got to be respectable. You've got to like carry the torch. You've got to like play the fiddle to the point where the whole actors who have worked in your films for the last 25 years can't even mention your name in the interview.
Yeah.
That's dark.
It's crazy.
They
probably can't be pictured with her either then.
No. And I do think it's partly her business. I feel like she's telling her PR, and I feel like that's an agreement. She's just kind of like, okay. Fine.
She stood her ground.
Harry Potter is not J.K. Rowling. J.K. Rowling is not Harry Potter. She's written other books. I've read them. I think she's a good author or whatever. Like, do I agree with why she could be worried about something else? Worry about something a straight white woman has to battle in this world. But hey, like, why can't she just worry about that?
I don't know. I ain't got no idea. Shit, man. That was a good rant. We went well there.
Yeah.
We went well. Okay, let's have a dig in the fishbowl. Nah, fuck it. If there's no point digging in the fishbowl, seeing as we're already on J.K. Rowling.
Oh yeah. Johnny Depp.
Mr. Jonathan Depperius the First.
Yes, yeah.
Just coming back from winning that battle with, he won an argument. That argument has blessed him with a $300 million deal going back into Pirates of the Caribbean.
I wasn't expecting that though.
To which I would honestly have elevated Johnny Depp's status if he had refused it.
Yeah.
Because
same.
They Disney turned their back on you during that time of your life when I'm sure Disney supported individuals that may or may not have been on logs to a particular island in Atlantic or South Pacific at some
Facts.
point or another.
Facts.
And they did not disown them. There's so many other actors, producers, and so forth that have convictions that a jury of their peers found them guilty.
Kids were touched.
You know, it happened,
right?
And they're still working. They haven't been blackballed. They haven't been ostracized. But I'm pretty sure even media outlets that are controlled by Disney were pushing the narrative that Jonathan has battered Amber Heard and done this and done that.
Oh yeah.
You've got, one of the beautiful things of being an adult is you do get the luxury of remembering who mixed shitty words with your name and dumped them out of their mouths.
That's true.
And act accordingly.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, unless there's something that Mr. Depp is not disclosing.
So is this a deal with the devil now? Because the same people that aided in destroying him are now like 300 million.
Yeah, of course it is.
And he's like, money talks. Money talks. Yeah. You don't have to do nothing for the rest of his fucking life if he does that. 300 million?
I've said it once, I've said it twice, I've said it many, 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 many times. Everyone has a price.
Everyone.
There isn't one person.
Johnny's is 300
million.
At least we know now. He's a pricey bitch. He's an expensive ass bitch.
I'm expensive. Ow. Yeah. Well,
I mean, yeah, good luck to him. I don't know if they did one without him and it was shit and they really want him back or what, but why not? They'll make sure their media outlets talk about him nice, right?
Probably
That's
not.
The other part of this deal is that they give him 300 million and they sweeten up his reputation again.
Probably not. Let's be fair. Let's be honest. Yeah. Through all of the fanfare and the insanity of fame and stardom, give it 30, 40 years, the poor bloke's gonna be back in court on another movement, probably to do with like NFT, bitcoins, or there'll be another wave of Me Too. Yeah. Where what is acceptable today isn't going to be acceptable further down the line, and people are going to be suing in retrospect.
Yeah. Nothing's acceptable today. So
yeah, the program we was watching today. Wasn't there a moment where a woman was slapped on the butt, and the woman's reaction was kind of like, "Oh, laughed it off, but don't do it." Socially, that was something that was acceptable-ish.
Of course.
And before anyone decides, you're getting people in trouble, I juggle like 3 or 4
and
jobs.
It's generational as well, because I'm definitely of the generation of don't touch me. Do not touch me. Don't touch.
Not touch.
Don't touch.
Don't touch me there.
But back in the day, it weren't really like that. It was like, and she was like, but don't do that. I'm married or got someone, and it was like, that was like flattering.
Yeah, I've seen people at work.
People change.
I've seen people at work. One half, and I'm not gonna disclose sex, gender, biology, because it's just gonna
no one's business. Anyway, I guess.
I've seen one party ask for a massage, suggestively and flirtingly, and another party agreeing, not doing it, but then on another occasion, it's offered, they accept, and they get a quick little 20-second massage. Shoulder rub with the thumbs.
I mean, have you seen Love Island? No, I haven't. But I've never seen that.
I haven't. I don't watch that shit.
I ain't got time for that.
Fucking brain poison.
White people just been sitting by the pool looking like Barbie and Ken.
Yeah, and the thing is, they are thick as shit. Okay,
they pluck them from villages and everything from England in these villages.
Yeah.
Because they've got white teeth and.
You know what?
abs.
I'm gonna retract that statement. I'm going to say they allow themselves and portray themselves to be perceived as thick as shit, because they might not be thick.
Are they Londoners?
But they know. Nah, Essex.
See,
tend to be Essex, Londoners, this and that. No, but that's not fair.
Londoners are smarter. I say it today.
Because
it's true.
Because it's a social thing. I remember being in my teenage years and being like, right, everyone likes funny, everyone likes to laugh, everyone likes humor. Right. So I've got a good enough sense of humor and I can break the ice and get a few giggles out of people. So fuck it, why not? Why so serious? Life's hard enough without not having the silver lining of humor.
Yes.
Shit, man, I've laughed my way through bereavement, depression, anxiety, certain ideations.
Love, cried.
Love and hate. I barely cry, and when I do cry, goodness me.
Better be about something proper, because I'm gonna be mad right after for making me cry.
Yeah. So yeah, man. Fuck it. I don't know.
Let's shuffle on. Next topic.
We'll do a bit of scaremongering later on or something.
Yeah.
But do you know what? It's crazy because we skipped this one that I've got, and we skipped.
We could have gone on to that. That would have been a good segue.
Yeah.
But
Or do we skip it? Leave it for next week? No,
might as well get in there. This is the sex and what was it? The sex and values special or some shit. We'll think of something.
There we go.
Go on.
So this side of the pond, in May, there was a particular episode of the infamous EastEnders television sitcom soap opera. Not soap opera, but soap. TV soap.
Yeah, TV soap.
A character by the name of Ben Mitchell was raped by another character who's a bartender. I don't know the name, but I actually watched that particular episode. I was at work. I personally don't watch EastEnders.
Me neither.
The scene itself wasn't explicit. It wasn't brutal like what you might.
Because this comes on at 7 or 8 p.m. before Watershed.
They go 7:30 or 7 p.m.
Yeah, so it's a pre-Watershed moment.
Yeah, the scene itself was suggestive. It wasn't suggestive. It was overt. It was evident.
What was happening?
Yeah. At the time when I was watching it with someone who had experienced that in their lives themselves, and their mood plummeted. It took them a couple of days to come back from it. And
days triggers.
EastEnders for viewership. All they do at the end of showing shit like that is they put a phone number at the end.
Oh right. Call the Samaritans.
Yeah, if you've been affected by tonight's episode, call this for support.
Helplines. I'm sorry.
Yeah. How about at the very least you put a disclaimer at the beginning of the show
so they can turn over.
Yeah.
To ITV.
Exactly. Corrie's on. Emmerdale Farm's on.
Right.
But instead, no, you let them go through the episode, and the very last point of the episode is that.
They love to do that shit though. EastEnders are a bitch for that.
Yeah.
Listen, my do you remember the cat was it
Slater?
Cat Slater and her daughter.
Yeah.
First daughter, Zoe.
Yeah.
So Kat had Zoe when she was a teenager, so her parents raised Zoe as their own. Yeah. And instead of calling it the right names, they were now her new parents, and Kat pretended to be her older sister. Yeah. Well, I have a family member that's exactly the same thing of their life. And I must imagine that could have been very triggering. And that was like a whole season, 2 seasons. Like they don't have seasons today, but
they milked
a couple of months storyline. And I'm sure that was very triggering for them. Among other things, there's cancer stuff. There's all sorts in it.
Yeah.
But Ben is Phil Mitchell's son.
Yeah.
Innit? So Phil Mitchell is a big big name in it, and he's been out of it. He's coming back. So I have not seen it in a long time. I think they've switched Ben, haven't they?
Yeah. Ben's an adult.
So he's another actor, because the one in my head probably ain't the one that's on screen now.
Yeah, no, it's not that little 14-year-old kid.
Yeah.
It's not the one that bricked
with the glasses.
Is the black boy now?
Okay, cool. So this happens, I guess. Look, it's when you're introduced to things that either haven't happened to you or you don't know anyone, or you just said you do. I act like no one's ever told me that that's happened to them and Mel. So it's rough, I can imagine. Triggering. I do believe in warning people.
Yeah.
And so is Ben? What is he? Gay? Does he? Is he bi?
Ben's gay.
So he's gay. And what's the other person who raped him?
Gay.
Oh right. So it's like date gone wrong.
It was a date. It was like a date, and the other guy was absolutely perfect. He was lovely.
Right. Until last minute.
I think Ben wasn't ready or wasn't sure, or Ben might have even been cheating, and that had happened. He was fooling around. But bear in mind, guys, I'm not an EastEnders watcher.
Yeah.
And I got all of my information based off of seeing the episode and what was said to me by EastEnders watchers that was there in the room.
Right.
And if I was to go based off of anything that I had seen of Ben as a character in the past, because when I was a child in school, everyone would speak about EastEnders, so I would dedicate my time to watching a bit of EastEnders here and there.
Yeah.
Ben's character, I wouldn't say was a pillar of the community.
Oh.
He bricked the little black kid.
Yeah, I remember that.
Left him down there in there. Ben went to prison, Young Offenders Institute. Ben was a tearaway.
Right.
But, okay, in soaps, the narrative can go anywhere. And just like in life, I'm pretty sure the bully that we knew in our, pre-teens and mid-teens is no longer a bully today.
No. Bullies are weak.
There you go.
As long as you know that. But anyway, yeah, bullies are weak. But is he? I don't know. Why are they showing? It's got to be a thing in it. Like, what are they getting out of this? Because they just triggered people. So what now? Is this? Is this like a rampant thing?
Social degradation.
No.
The thing is, and actually, you know what?
Like, guys get raped all the time. Is this a thing?
Yeah. Hollyoaks did it first.
We know women are getting raped. It's traditional, unfortunately.
Yeah, guys get raped too. It's just
in prison, I imagine.
Not just in prison.
Right, exactly. You would imagine.
No, not just in prison. No, men get raped.
Boarding schools.
Men get raped, if not at the same rate as women, or more.
Oh,
it's just
drop that fact.
Yeah, it's just again.
Men are not listened to.
They're not listened to, and men don't speak.
Yes.
A man who is raped.
How do you even say that?
Yeah.
How do you even?
There we go. Fuck it. You know what?
How do you even say that?
We're on the topic. We're on the run. So let's go for it.
Yeah.
I had a situation with a cousin, whether they were an actual cousin or not. Mm-hmm. But when I used to go to my great aunt's house, there was a guy that was living there, and I'm not gonna. No, my great aunt, the statute of limitation must have ran out by now. My great aunt used to have this hustle where she will because that's I can't say that. No, I can't say it. I can't say it on air, but I'll tell you what. Mm-hmm. If listeners actually give a fuck about hearing completely uncensored, then you know what, we will get stories. We will get a Patreon together. Yeah. But what goes on that Patreon does not find its way onto YouTube. Yeah. It doesn't go past or beyond. Because you will be sued. It's not even sued. Check my resume. I'm gonna come and check you. We're
you better block that motherfucking IP address, bitch.
Trust me, we're gonna link up at Starbucks. Yeah. That gingerbread cinnamon, whatever you're sipping on is going. Right. Well, I had a situation where sexual things were presented to me as a game, and at that age, I was common, young. Yeah, at that age, I was young. I was sexualized, and it happened. Yeah. Now, let's say, it's not even let's say, that occurred when I was somewhere between 6 and 7. Right. Now, from that point on, my behavior was sexualized. Yeah. The first time that I entered some vag, I was 8 years old. Mm-hmm. Yep, young. 8 years old. Then, after that incident of the 8 years old, when I had heterosexual intercourse, or attempted, the next time that I had some was when I was 13. Mm-hmm. No, 12. Mm-hmm. 12 in a park, in Grove Park. I'm going at her from the back end. There's an
Not Grove Park.
there's an associate there's an associate getting some sloppy on the front end. Now, I can't say that I regret it. I can't say that I this or that, but
also common.
Yeah, but,
just ask George about. Oh no, you can't,
yeah,
can you?
I can't. But I can say that at the point where I was able to reflect and realize and be like, hold on a minute. All of these talks and all of these shows and all of these things is happening.
Yeah.
I'm like, did that happen to me? But not in like.
So what it does is that's how people get DID. So if you ever watch Moonlight, you'll see he has DID. DID can only be associated or made in child traumatic trauma between those ages. Later on you can get memories back, sure, but what the brain does to protect itself, it shelters you. Yeah. With DID is when an issue develops, so when you're sheltered and you almost don't exist. Some have an out-of-body experience. DID is when you don't exist, something else steps in and is actually take a personality, this is what doctors call it, a personality or an alter, steps in and is actually a consciousness and takes it all for you. The issue with that is when you're back into your body, they're still existing and they talk to you in your head. Right. You can see them in your brain. You know what they look like. They've got their own voice, their own accent. They're a whole person. But they don't exist. But yeah, like dissociation. So you learn from your young age, your brain dissociates from reality, dissociates from memories. And when you do get them back, God forbid, it's a process. So it's almost like you have this happening for the first time.
Yeah.
You didn't associate it happened to you when you was playing in the schoolyard, when you're doing the whole life you could be going and not acknowledging or even associating with your personality or history. You could be talking to an abuse victim and see yourself as, oh, I can't really relate because I haven't been through that. Yes, you motherfucking did. But like it don't exist to you.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's something about if you talk about it, I believe, or if you get too many triggers, then you can start getting memories back.
Yeah.
And then it's like, be prepared.
Yeah, it's true. It's actually true. Because now this conversation's actually brought back up in my mind other incidents that I guess I glossed over. Yeah. But
they learn, like abusers, if they've done it enough times, they learn instinctively, funnily enough, how that works, how disassociation works. They use it as a tool.
Right.
So that's how people, when you think of like, how do people survive like religious ritualism, or like back in the day when people sacrifice, how do they survive that? The body shut, it does a lot of protective mechanisms, and you disassociate. And secret agents and stuff, like when you hear like Russian, like from children, they get trained up, don't they? Orphans and stuff. That's how. So what they do is they call forward the DID, the other alter. Yeah. They can train that alter to be a killer. But then when it swaps back and it's the normal you don't know how to fucking pick up a knife. You genuinely don't know. They can trigger a code word to bring an alter out of you, and it takes over your consciousness. And there's a thing called, it's called passenger seating. So the DID, the other alter, can decide whether to let you see what's going on. So you could literally, their perspective apparently through testimony is they see through the eyes and they can't control anything, they're just seeing. Yeah. And they can hear and they can talk to them in their heads. Or the other one is they just block you out completely. You don't exist. So you experience time lapses. It's insane. It's insane.
Okay.
But look up on that, people. Stuff like that, because you could have it and not know it if you suffered from child things. But definitely memory issues, disassociation. You can go your whole life without even knowing you've been abused, and that's common.
Yeah.
But I want to see if the EastEnders put that in their story, like things like that in their storyline. No, he's not a child, but it's like
it's probably highly likely that they will, because EastEnders has had a long run. It has touched and gone on to a lot of topics
without like broadening it.
Yeah, and all of these topics, it means you've got to one up yourself. So if you've got to one up yourself, then clearly it's just gonna spiral.
Yeah.
Because it's about shock factor that was put in.
Yeah, shock factor.
If I remember correctly, I think Steve in Hollyoaks was raped.
Steve.
Like 3 or 4 years ago.
Why did I just think of Beppe?
Pepe.
Pepe, do you remember Pepe? What just think of Pepe?
Yeah, but okay. You had a bit of a deep dive into something that may or may not offend or cause discomfort to listeners at home or at work or wherever.
Yeah, we will put a warning in the beginning of this podcast today.
Yeah, we will. But let's go to one kind of, well, this still touches on the same kind of premise.
Okay,
in some
so
parts.
we're gonna leave it off with some American foolery, and it's the BET Awards.
The Black Entertainment. Black Entertainment Television. Or
Television,
Black Entertainment Television. Okay. Yeah.
Thames won a Best International Newcomer Award.
Well, you go, girl.
Yeah, that's the
Well done.
The Brits doing it for the Brits.
I will wait for you.
Who else? Oh, yeah, like a bunch of people in the house. So you got Diddy. He got a Lifetime Achievement Award. We'll talk about him in a minute. Who else? Brandy was there. She got brought out by Jack Harlow, who was spoken about there, the little thing.
Oh, so he knows who she is now.
He knows now, I guess.
Okay.
He's been brought up on game. And with Lil Wayne, they come out and did a thing. I haven't seen it. Mariah Carey was there because that Lotto brought her out, which is rare.
Yeah.
Wow, I don't know how she did that. What else? Ramen. Ray J was sitting in the audience eating pot noodle
As you do.
in like
As you
some
do.
Gucci suit and slurping away.
I got some playful banter.
Okay.
Because sometimes I make ramen noodles with boiled egg for breakfast at work.
Oh yeah.
And it's I didn't realize
That's how Asian people do too. Right? They put egg, meat.
Yeah. No, it isn't that. It isn't so much that I put boiled egg in the noodles.
Okay.
It's the fact that I had noodles for breakfast.
Got you.
So I think outside of certain communities or certain eating habits, noodles isn't a breakfast dish. It's a lunch and dinner thing.
Really?
Yeah. So breakfast would be like some oatmeal, some toast, maybe some avocado toast with a slice of lemon.
Hell, if someone can have a bit of
bread.
dry bread and some butter on it. I'd much rather some noodles.
Yeah, me too, man. I prettied it up. I had put some pesto in there.
Chuck some shit in there and
giving it a bit of zazz, a bit of jazz.
it's a hot drink and it's nutritious meal. Like, what's their problem?
Yeah, but I guess Diddy.
Oh, he's got a new name. Love.
His name is Love.
Love.
Okay.
He's got a record label now called Love Records with Motown.
So what happened to Bad Boys?
I guess he's doing a new one on top of Bad Boy. I don't think it's Bad Boys with Interscope, I think.
Okay, so the percentages and the deals.
Yeah, so I think he's taken from Sony and UMG now. So that's how you really want to do it, I guess. I don't want to say Bryson Tiller's signed to it at all, but he's got a song out with him and it's about Cassie, apparently.
Yeah.
Here times now, Cassie, okay, they spent 8 years together, fine.
Was it 8 or was it 10?
8.
8, okay.
It could be 10, I guess. But everyone says that Diddy stole her from Ryan Leslie. Shout out to Ryan Leslie for that deal one time. I know it didn't work out. Hope you got your laptop back. But no, everyone says that because me and you. No, yeah.
Think I'm gonna make a move.
Think you're gonna make a move.
Let's just assume.
Tell me if you like
It's
it. Chris Brown just
just
sampled
you.
that as well for a new track, I think, on his album I had yesterday.
Oh, I'm gonna go looking for that.
Yeah. So everyone says that, and then Cassie got with Diddy for 8 years. She played her career just disappeared. Like everyone was like, "What you doing with your songs though, with your album or whatever?" Like, no, she was Diddy's. She
Yeah.
wasn't just known for being Diddy's. That's it.
Yeah.
So one day Diddy hired a trainer, a personal trainer.
All the PT.
His name's Alex Fine.
Ooh. Come on now.
To me, he kind of looks like Frodo from Lord of the Rings.
Elijah Wood.
But like a 6'4" version of Frodo. But anyway, his name's Alex Fine. He's a personal trainer. He started training Cassie. They fell in love.
Cassie
and Diddy split. And then Alex Fine and Cassie have had a baby. I don't believe they're married. But yeah, they're pretty happy. And then he's talking to like all these outlets about Cassie.
Mm-hmm.
even in a video I saw of him talking to Young Miami in an interview, or I think he's given Young Miami something on Revolt TV.
Yeah.
Because they're meant to be together.
Okay.
That he's like double her age, but whatever. And she says, "Oh, what is it about this song or whatever?" And he's like, "Oh, he's talking about Cassie in front of her," and just like it's cool. And I'm sitting there thinking maybe she respects Cassie. There is a big age difference. We forget now. It would be maybe 10 years or something. Anyway, so the boyfriend of Cassie has gone on to his stories on Instagram and posted the Pride gay logo for like, you know, Pride Month or whatever. LGBTQ TIA plus.
TIA plus.
Mm-hmm. I
Okay.
don't know what they mean, but I've seen it somewhere. But yes, so he's posted that and said, you know, shout out to all the men in the closet. He said I think quotation marked throwing shots. Yeah, quotation marks Diddy the name of the new single.
Yeah.
So clearly it's that Diddy, and he said, you know, if you can get some help, I don't know, some support or help. I guess he's outing him, innit? He's saying Diddy,
Daddy.
Daddy. Someone's calling him Daddy. But he's saying that, you know, that he might not be all the way straight, and I guess not new information. But everyone's heard that. Everyone.
Daddy. 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 Black.
But everyone's heard that. Wendy Williams got run out of New York. Do you remember? She got run out of New York for saying that on the radio.
Yeah.
And she had facts and stuff. So I guess, like, I don't know why that's a thing. I mean,
well,
again, I don't get it, yeah? Because it's like people are on a red carpet in skirts, men, you know, just talk about fashion, wearing skirts, which is a short skirt or something.
Yeah.
Or, you know, mini skirts, call it what you want. They're wearing all sorts of fashions that are not traditionally male, if you want to talk about society wise. The pink, you know, necklaces, pink hair, they're just doing it big, and it's like you can't tell who's going straight these days. So this whole like, oh you might be in the closet, why are you talking about my missus? I get that, because it's like, listen, you're clearly using Cassie as some sort of like what do they call them, beard.
A beard. What's a beard?
So someone who's gay or bisexual, man, you can be a man or woman, but if you're using a relationship as a disguise, so you're dating a girl, if you're a guy, you're dating a girl, like, and you're having a full fake relationship, she thinks it's real, but you're only doing that to make sure your friends are happy with you and your family are happy with you, but you don't really give a fuck. You're doing what you want on a side. So they use women one after the other as beards so they can keep their straight privilege. Is all it is, really. So he's like, stop using my missus as a beard. She's not your missus no more. I rescued you from her because you were most likely bearded her up hard, and she's there just bearding it out in the home, not doing nothing all day, not in the studio anyway. And stop it. Use Young Miami. Yeah. And Diddy's like, you don't exist to me, because he hasn't responded. Yeah. But it's gone viral. Everyone's talking about it, but he ain't responded.
Daddy.
But Young Miami don't give a shit. She's getting money and shows on Revolt, and bitch, like, she don't care.
This whole thing's all about the money game. It's the money game. So make your money, and if you want to fuck men, fuck men. If you just whatever you do, don't fuck children. Please. Don't touch them. Leave them alone. Please. Life and the world is fucked up as it is. Let them at least grow up to the point.
Just why is where life is like, what demon is, you know, inhibiting that behavior? Like who, what, when?
The power of Christ compels you. The power of Christ compels you. The power of Christ compels you.
Pray it on him. But just leave the children alone. But on that note, we're gonna go to a break, aren't we? Or have we got?
We actually still have one more, you know.
Oh, do we now?
Yeah, it's a bit of.
Do you know what? Why not?
Let's go. It's just a bit of scaremongering.
Scaremongering, all right.
Yeah, hold on to your seats.
Yes.
Make sure you put on an extra pad, because you might shit yourself with these news.
If you're a pissy, shitty type of person.
NATO has sanctioned and ordered the increase of troops in the conflict zone of the Ukraine. Right. Leading up till, I guess,
I think there's a few events going on. Like there must be G7.
Yeah.
A few things. Yeah. Boris was just over there in Ukraine. But because Russia is keeping on going, they're just, you know, apparently they're in their first bit of debt.
Yeah. Oh, what, their first default of
Of debt.
IMF repayments?
Must be.
Okay.
That's not a good sign. Russia is so rich, it's unbelievable. Secret treasures we could never know of in that
It's
part of the
true.
world that will barred out of and always happens.
It's true. North Korea's their back pocket, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes.
So
you know, but they're pressing on. They're slaying through as much as the Baltics they can, and murdering and pillaging, and you know,
stealing all the
pirates
grain.
of the Balkans. They are
stealing all the
Russians.
grain. But yeah, the troops
Kidnapping people like the Chinese do. So they're kidnapping Ukrainians and just saying, "You're Russian, bruv. Come back. You're living in Russia now." So
they've gone on holiday.
just kidnapping civilians and saying, "Yep."
It's like all those holidays that happened in the Second World War.
If they refuse, you're out of here.
Auf Wiedersehen, goodbye.
But NATO are stepping up for Russian reasons, and they've gone from 40,000 to 300,000 or over 300,000 troops ready to go.
Yeah.
Just Power Rangers home.
War. What is it good for?
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing. Well, that's not quite right, because a lot of people that are complaining about the petrol prices, you know,
Blame Russia.
Blame Russia, and also take a look at the fact that the Western powers, NATO, US, UK, France, whatever,
They're scared, in my opinion, but
they've retreated from the Afghan oil fields. So the price lock that we were, let me not say we, because I am
the thing we needed in this time,
things that are needed and things that are affecting
post Brexit,
you know, our standard of living,
yeah.
come at a price somewhere else around the world.
And by the way, why is everyone only now freaking out talking about, oh, we have to pay visas to get into European countries now? Didn't you not know this already?
No, they didn't know.
Oh, I'm done.
Because for a whole what, 85 years, that's like 2 really poorly healthed people's lifetimes. You didn't need a visa to go
from
into Europe.
18 to like 34, everyone's like, huh? We gotta pay to get into France?
Yeah, you do.
Like every other country in the world who isn't part of the fucking European Union.
Yeah. You're lucky it's not even like proper hardcore immigration
It's
visas.
only gonna be like £20, isn't it?
I think so, £27, something like that.
Shit, like, who cares? You know what I mean? You're paying for your stamp.
Exactly. Pay
But it's just the idea they don't even, didn't pay attention to that light fact, that very light fact about Brexit. And these motherfuckers were part, you lot, won't you lot all complain about it? Like, I don't complain about it because I didn't vote. I didn't give a shit.
This is what
I can just move to another country.
This is what happens when you think you're sitting on a gold mine and the world has everything to take from you, and you have nothing to gain from the world. So
privileged. The British are so honestly. Yeah. No matter how hard it is here, we are so privileged in the sense of,
if ignorance is bliss,
right? Being ignorant.
This is the perfect example. And by the way, right? The Human Rights Act is getting scrapped.
It is in Britain, yeah. 'Cause it's completely undone.
Yeah, it's getting scrapped. It intervened with that deportation flight, Priti Patel's Rwanda scheme. So the Human Rights Act will be getting scrapped.
And that's something we've relied heavily on here in Britain for forever.
Yeah. All of these compensation claims, all of this medical.
Or do we walk around Britain thinking that everyone could get pissed in all these people's countries and piss all over their monuments and just because we're British,
yeah.
Arrest us, the FCO's coming to get us. You know what I mean? Home Office is straight in. Listen, we are not going to be as protected as we were.
Absolutely not.
No.
Better start getting ready to dig your heels in and enjoy the holidays to Bognor Regis, because
I'll vote when it comes to my rights. If it's got anything to do with my rights, then I'm taking issue. Do you know what I mean? I'll have my 2 cents. When it comes on who's in power, why, when, who, listen, I know they have backdoor meetings and shit. They do what they want to do.
Of course.
But if it's about my rights, it's something I'm going to fight for, because I got brought up on knowing that shit, and what was the point?
Null and void, mate.
What is the point? So yeah, stop that shit. But this has been planned for so many years now and been in the news, and no one's paid attention. It's only because it's happening now that everyone's like, oh, what do we do? You know, so
Derp.
we'll see what it is to be British in a year or two. We'll see.
I'm not British.
Yes, fact.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm British nationalised, so hey, we're here. We're out here. But I'm British, I guess. So.
If only I could get my life in order enough,
Yeah.
maybe I will do.
And ain't it funny? I've got no British blood. It's Irish, Indian, black solution. So there's no real British. It's just
You're
at all.
You're gonna make me say it. You're gonna make me say it, and it's quite the controversial.
The Celtics of the islands.
Quite a controversial topic.
Yeah.
But what you may mean allegedly is you're not English.
Yes, or Scottish or Welsh.
Yeah, I love the Irish. I really do.
Yeah, they're right.
I love
everyone the same, I guess.
It's alleged I have various degrees of love, but of course, Daddy has got to pay some bills.
Yes, to keep these shows coming. So, be right back.
This episode is sponsored by Anchor, a free creation tool that allows you to edit and record your podcast right from your phone or computer. Get your podcast into all your favorite podcast digital retailers. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. Everything you need is in one place to create a podcast. Download the app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Welcome back to Vexxed Uncensored with me, Saint.
And me, Mo Vader.
And we are back. So, we are back for the Vexed portion. This is where we like to air our shit out. Sometimes our dirty laundry, but mostly just vent.
Yes, just vent. And,
just vent.
I guess because this one, I had this reflection 2 nights ago.
Okay.
A dear childhood friend of mine, he's I don't want to put it out there, but one of his people contacted me and said, you know, they noticed we're posting the show, and said, right, we'll give it a listen. And it dawned on me that I had made comment and remark about said person.
That happens to happen sometimes. I don't know how, but yeah. So
I'm vexed with myself, and I would like to apologize to myself and to my dear childhood friend.
Yeah.
I vented and expressed my frustrations regarding one situation.
Okay,
so that does not reflect what I think of you, how I feel about you,
right,
and where you stand in my life.
Right. That's very respectable. That's how man acts.
Yeah. Yes. I just want to make sure that, you know, if you do listen to this and you choose not to cut me off and you actually listen to everything up until like this episode today, man, I love you. You good. And I mean, unless there's a very small window for us to fall out. It's like minuscule. Yeah. So
it's a very fine line on here to know what to say and what not to say.
Yeah. And I mean, after all, I'm sure with all the damn fucked up shit that I do, you've had a good reason or two in the past to bitch and moan to your people about me. This is in ways my diary.
Yeah, we all do it.
Yeah, this is my diary, man. I don't take it personally, and I please hope you don't take it personally. I've said it once already. I'll say it again. I love you. We good. We straight.
Yep.
If you do want to talk about it, give me a call. We'll talk about it. I'll hash it out. With I'm easy. I'm a proper slapper.
Proper slapper.
Proper slasher. But yeah, short,
sweet.
Short and sweet.
I like that. That's cool. But yes, I might start off this week.
Yeah.
So yeah, let me think. So something about the last story has just made me think. So we was talking about Cassie, and then we were talking about Diddy.
Yeah.
Did love everything. Daddy. And Alex Fine. So Alex Fine decided to call out Diddy. Yeah. Might have been rumoured, might have been not rumoured. Who cares? Most people deal with them rumours, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he's decided to use the branding, the logo, the whole thing of Pride Month.
Yeah.
as a straight guy, like a straight man, and he's got nothing to do with none of that.
Yeah.
He might know people or be an ally or something to like that community, but other than that, like if you're not getting with a man, then you ain't really got. You can't really say anything. Anyway, so he's calling out his ex's ex for being a certain orientation that might not be out there.
Yeah.
So whether it's out there or not, whether he's got a bid or not saying it's all right, not saying it's fine.
Yeah.
But at the same time, what's this other person's problem with it?
Precisely.
So he's trying to say he's got a problem with the fact that he's in the closet, but what's it to you?
Yeah. What it is, I think
like what's his problem?
I think I've got this one cracked. I'm just gonna put on my Sherlock glasses. No, Sherlock can wear glasses. Cape. Let me put my Sherlock cape.
Yeah.
Right. There is individuals who believe and think that someone's reputation,
right,
and the riches and the marketing and advertising that they have access to or that they receive will be impaired, and social opinion of that person will change due to their sexual orientation.
So it's proving that the whole Pride situation isn't just a whole in a parade, people dancing about, or fun and games. It's also could be damaging if somebody was to.
Yeah, right. Because after all, let's not like
we all know that. Yeah, innit? Like we all know that.
Yeah, the community. Let's say the community that Daddy appeals to. Is look at the first record label, Bad Boy Entertainment. Bad Boy Entertainment music appeals and is targeted towards predominantly the demographic of people that will listen to hip hop, gangster rap, and those communities / cultures tend to have more of a don't ask, don't tell approach to homosexuality.
Right.
So if he's an icon now, he's a legend. Whether his music's good or not, I'm not going to comment on that because this is the Vex segment.
That's for another show.
Yeah, but it would be damaging to, let's say, and I'm gonna make sweeping blanket generalizations.
Right.
It will be damaging to the perception and to the business ties of the gangster rappers and the gangster rap going on in the background. So we can safely say that there is an element of him out in what is it, Mr. Fine, out and out Daddy.
Yeah, because he's not just a random geezer. He's with the girl who used to be with Diddy, so who would know other than her?
Exactly. So is he insinuating there's some pillow talk and all of the rumours that have circulated? Because
he's insinuating that he's gay. He's not insinuating that he's bisexual. Because if he was bisexual, what are you really calling out?
Exactly.
like you know,
there was a conversation had where there's someone that I know that has 2 guinea pigs. They've got 2 male guinea pigs, and the 2 male guinea pigs, as springtime has just come, started frolicking with each other. They make this kind of noise. It's like no,
like Rebecca.
It's kind of like that.
Okay.
And then they start humping each other's faces. They're running around in their cage.
It's funny.
And someone passed the comment and said, "Oh, I googled it, and it's about asserting dominance." And then the third party said, "That's fucked up. Who asserts dominance through rape and molestation of another person or of another thing?"
See, this is where it gets weird.
It gets techie.
Okay, so this comes into morality, ethics, and what people are struggling with now, as far as like all of that, and all that comes from religion. Obviously, we know this, right? Even laws, religion, the 10 Commandments and stuff. Yeah. So it's like, the thing is, when we think of most people, when we think of like that, 2 male guinea pigs, whatever, and one has to be raping or molestating to have this contact, as in males, to with the 10 degree of their genetic have this built-in mechanism that prevents like a force field goes up if they ever get near another man.
Yeah.
And it's like, bzoom, bzoom, bzoom.
Yeah.
But one has to be raping or molesting for them to have a frolicky
Dominance.
situation, right?
Yeah. Because the thing is,
But that's not the case, obviously.
they were branding them as homosexuals, and
But it has to be one male dominating another. Like and this is the thing with women and men or whatever. It has to be a male that's dominating a woman. I know so many men that are like, do not wear the trousers in their relationship.
Of course, I was one myself.
They just don't. That's and what either works doesn't work. But when it comes to male, like I see two lesbians, so am I thinking, oh, one's got to be the butch one and one's got to be the lipstick one?
Yeah.
No. Both could be butch, both could be lipstick, whatever they call lipstick, which is feminine. Like I don't know why. Obviously, I see stereotypes, but that's really, I don't know. I just see it from like a white male's perspective is where these stereotypes come from, and I don't see what everyone else sees as far as these categories and as far as like, do you know what I mean? There's even with social media, yeah, you'll see lesbians. You may assume they're cousins, sisters, friends. No, they're together. And they could both be like really pretty long-haired girls or whatever. You see guys, you expect them to be brothers or cousins or friends or whatever. Two good-looking masculine geezers. No, they're married. So it's like, I don't really get the old school thing of one has to be submissive and the other one has to be dominant. That occurs by nature, but your people are predicting which they're making double standards when it comes to gender and stuff like that and sexuality, when funnily enough it's probably the only difference in sexuality between the two genders is one's male and one's female. Different what would you call it, sexual ways of getting on, two different biologies and motivations. Testosterone, like men, rampant, they're going to be getting it on all the time because it's biology. Women, they're most likely more romantic, more sensual together. There's most likely not scissoring going on every single moment of the day, so it's dynamics that people don't take into consideration. It's weird how people like chop things up, and I just see it all as honestly their own differences. Like if there's a straight couple there and there's a lesbian couple there and a gay couple there, all I see difference is obviously there's two men, there's two women, and there's a man and a woman. I don't assume that any of their feelings or the way they show their love is any different from a heterosexual
Of course not.
person. I think it's exactly the same.
The world has gone on for far too many years for there to be anything new.
Yeah, it's like weird.
There's no new ways.
Romans, like every civilization on the planet, we pretend like all this is new.
Ain't nothing new about it.
No.
Nothing.
Not one thing.
Funnily enough, once we explored the topic and the conversation, everyone sort of left the conversation, I wouldn't say gobsmacked, but in awe that, okay, this happens. The two guinea pigs that are locked up in a cage are frolicking and exerting their dominance.
Right.
Let's
and they're
change
locked
the
up in the
perspective.
cage. Like they're in the cage. If there's only the other living thing in the cage is a male, then
you're gonna fight. Well. You're gonna bicker. Look at the jails. Look at the jail system. Half of them are probably frolicking based on dominance, and the other half are frolicking based on, I guess, sexual need. Most men
growing up, and the only time they spend time with females is when they're either dating them or having sex with them, or it's their mother and sister. They really don't spend a lot of time with females. They're mostly around other men.
Yeah,
I like solidly.
Yeah,
all the time, and we're very comfortable. Do you know what I mean? Like,
trust me,
women are like a foreign thing they have to learn, and it's like because they ain't had much contact.
And women,
so small-minded, one of the two.
Women, beware your male friends. They will fuck you.
Well, they want to.
They're your friends because they want to.
Yeah, there's always that chance. Like with men, it's always that door's always open.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say.
And you know what?
Not to everyone though. I'm a living testimony to that.
Props to the gentlemen that have that self-discipline in that they've put a woman in the friend zone and they'll never let that woman out. Props to them. You've got the strength that I don't have, because. But
there must be something really repulsive or something unmanageable about that person that they're like, no,
maybe not.
Not even willing.
Maybe not. It might just be the principle, because you know.
Yeah, if you know you're gonna just fuck some person once and they're gonna be a stalker on you for the rest of your life, then that's not fun. So you avoid that at all costs. There's other vaginas available.
Yeah, there's plenty.
You know,
in abundance.
So don't ever put your eggs in one basket. That's what I say. But no, calling out that Chris, whatever his name is, that Alex, fine. Like, I see what you're doing underneath it all.
Yeah.
and you say you're friendly with the LGBTQ, but you're not respecting them, because ain't you not meant to out people? Ain't that the LGBTQ rule that they want everyone to respect, is to not do that?
Yeah. Well, they're torn on it because
You know?
in some cases they're outing people, in other cases they're not.
Yeah, if they find themselves being maligned, then they're going to be like, okay, Bobby Valentino. Yeah.
Bobby
I was thinking of him
Valentino.
earlier, actually.
Yeah, but he was outed, and
Yeah, that's rude and cruel. And
yeah. Did you see the poor man running for his life?
yeah, but it's also cruel and seeing the fact that it gets him in that state. Like, what has got you so, like, the police ain't in here? The camera is turned on. That's it, a camera.
10 toes.
It's not like he was naked or nothing. Like, he was, he was naked.
No, he wasn't naked.
No, exactly. It's not like he could have just been chilling there. What are you getting so frazzled for? Because he hates that about himself. And it's sad that you hate that about yourself.
He might not hate.
Of course he does. He don't want it associated to him. He don't want it.
He just doesn't want people knowing that. That's his
Listen,
thing.
there's people who do not like who they are. And it's
Listen, if there's anyone who doesn't like who they are and you're listening.
yeah, and there's some people that just want privacy, I guess. But
let me give you a little tip, right? A little tip and just a touch of advice from a gentleman that has been bullied, been a bully, been loved, been hated, been included, been ostracized. Fuck what people think. As long as you can stomach your decisions and you can eat the food that you dish, metaphorically speaking, live your life. Live your life, because there isn't anyone that is forever, and there is no situation that is forever, except for, say, terminal conditions. And in some situations, those terminal conditions can be turned around. You can cling to life and persevere.
you can be 102 years old, I don't care, yeah, on a deathbed, 2 minutes from death, you do not have it all together, and you do not know it all, like that old person. They might have been around a century, don't matter, you don't know everything.
Exactly.
So these people, they ain't got it figured out. Just because they might identify as straight and white and they're walking around, you do not know who they've slept with. Mind, in college, in school, you don't know who what secrets. Everyone has their own life. And yeah, I do believe, like, mind your business, everyone. If someone's doing something, let them figure out themselves.
Of course.
Maybe Bob Valentino only did it once or twice. You don't know. He could be figuring it out. Maybe he saw someone, was like, okay, you're not usually what I go for, but today's the day.
Yeah.
Who knows? Good luck to him, you know?
What? Face your front. Just face your front.
Yeah.
Like, face your front.
As long as you're comfortable with you, yeah, fuck what everyone else says. But as long as you know you yourself, you're not lying to yourself.
Yeah.
That's like a big deal, because there's delusional and like,
yeah, no, don't lie to yourself. Don't lie to yourself. Accept yourself.
in denial and shit.
Accept yourself. You are what you are. What you can work on it. What you can't, it is what it is.
You'll understand one day. Oh, maybe not.
Yeah. And let's remember, these are people that their whole lives, their whole persona and image has been marketed by labels in a way for the label to profit financially.
For sure.
So Bobby Valentino may not have been the Bobby Valentino that we know coming into the music game.
Amen.
He may have actually been himself from the very beginning, but A&R and the PR team was
stopped him from exploring that.
Yeah, you don't do this, you don't do that. May God rest his soul. Prince. The assumption was outright, oh, that flamboyant.
Because he walked around with the most beautiful women on the planet.
Yeah.
One after the other.
Exactly. I don't know where I heard this, and I don't know if this is factual or not, but somewhere along the line I heard Prince was packing and he was slaying them. Putting it down.
That's what everyone.
So
I never heard Prince was gay, not once.
Didn't you?
No.
Then I guess I'm going to have to hold my hands up.
Not once.
And admit that.
I think only our generation would assume, of course, we'd assume.
I judged the book by its cover.
But you got to remember, even back then, like, artists wore eyeliner and they did their thing. No, it's weird, isn't it? How no one. It's weird, isn't it? I'm sorry, it just is weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like one for all for one, and different.
And
yeah, it's like individual basis, I guess. But yeah, I never heard that I heard he was slaying them, or they were all, like, I've had terrible stories about him, but they were about women. They all include women.
Yeah.
But, no men or anything.
Yeah. I mean, well.
Same with Michael Jackson, honestly.
See, I always.
But obviously, we know all of that, and obviously he's innocent because it got proven.
Yeah.
Even after his death got proven again. because they had to do it again.
Yeah.
But as far as relationship with men, no, not Michael.
Problem is with things like that and that of that nature. Once the mud is thrown, there's always some residue left.
Well, if you
over.
don't look like, again, if you don't look like everyone, your average male, what is the average male? Everyone expects everyone to look the same as this. So like a big tongue, the deepest voice on the planet.
The average male is
most people I see in the street, men, do not fit that description. So
yeah, it's true.
Do you know what I mean?
This is true.
But what was your Vex segment for this week?
There's a crazy pause here because the only thing that I wanted to do was just make sure that if anyone listens and hears that, you're part of my Vex segment.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Just remember that if you know me personally, you know when it comes to venting, that is my way of getting a small fraction of my frustration out that I normally would have gotten out by throwing my weight around, and I stopped doing that. I need an outlet. I go gym, I work out. There isn't enough hours and enough free time for me to go to gym and to go to work out and just be the happy, jolly fat man that I generally am. But I guess just for the sake of throwing a sickness out, not a sickness, throwing a Vexed segment out there.
Okay, yeah.
I'll say disorganization, punctuality, and just now. I know we don't plan to be sick. We don't plan for this and that.
Of course not.
But
God forbid.
It's a bit frustrating when, you know, in the workplace or in a business environment, someone being sick and being sick last minute, the inconvenience of it. On numerous occasions at work, someone being sick last minute or declaring that they're going to be sick last minute has meant that I've ended up staying behind at work for an extra 12, 24 hours, 13 hours.
It's crazy, isn't it?
3, 4, 5. And it's an inconvenience. I work long hours.
You have plans.
Yeah. We all have our rights and our entitlements to our freedom and our social life and just our peace as well.
And technically work should only be, I think you're meant to be given 24 hours legally for a shift notice.
Ah, right.
So yeah, not that that's it hit you
this
by
is
anyone these days.
This is the Wild West. This is easily the Wild West. There's no
sure.
the laws are there and in place, but the application and adherence to them,
it's the next thing.
Yeah.
And it's that as well. It's okay to be sick, people. Like if you're sick, you just think of it as guaranteed time off. If you're sick, no one wants you at work.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
Even if you're a hard worker and you're slogging through it, we don't want that extra shit. Just we want a healthy person to do the job and not be coughing on me or shitting up
all over the place. Yeah. Well, for me, I don't know. I think obviously every human's different, but my body has a pretty good operating system. I've got warning lights. As
soon as my stomach's gone brunk, and it's gone brunk, I'm calling up and I'm saying I'm not coming in today.
Yeah. Like like so many times I found myself feeling like, ooh, I don't feel good, I don't feel well. I am going to give a heads up in advance and then give it 3 to 6 hours, give an update. If I can't, I can't.
Because everyone says, okay, well tell us how you feel.
Yeah.
And then you give your update and it's like, no, I'm not, it's not happening.
Yeah.
And usually they're like, oh, okay, but they would have had in their mind, okay, I'm thinking of this person for it then.
Yeah, but
at least
notice anything less than 5 hours before your shift. No, allow it, man. Go and do your shift, help find cover, and then go home.
Yeah, at least for that. If it comes to that, go and do that and then leave, because no one's going to respect you more for turning up. And if you call up last minute, everyone's going to hate your guts.
Yeah.
Just because
who can cover that shortfall?
Yeah, especially if it's the type of job where you know the person on posting's got to stay on posting, and I'm sure like that's a bit of a bitch.
Yeah.
So you're there thinking, I'm going to get off. Yes. Looking at the time, all right, they're late. But you don't think, shit, I'm here for another day or so.
Yeah.
Like, nah, that's next level. So
it's crazy, man. But
I hope that changes.
Yeah. And please, nobody get upset about this. I'm not angry about you. I'm not like, it hasn't changed how I feel about you.
Yeah.
It's all love.
Oh, we're so blunt on this show. Don't take no serious.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
Enjoy it. I love you, and I hope you get better. And I can't wait to see you.
of course.
Soon.
Yeah.
You know, we're gonna have some fun.
Get
We're gonna
better
relax.
soon,
We're gonna
whoever
enjoy. You know, it's not you. It's not you I'm vexed at. It's the circumstance.
It's the circumstance.
That's right.
Yeah.
So get well soon.
We're done, aren't we? So enjoy this long ass podcast today, guys.
Well, actually, just a bit of a silver lining.
Okay.
We've done Vexed. We've done all these other topics.
Yeah.
Usually we have a little catch up at the beginning of the show.
Yes. Yeah.
How are you?
I'm okay. Well, do you know what? I'm thinking more of like, you know, when you've got so many things in your head and you're like, okay, excited. But it takes time.
Yeah.
For these things to happen, to finance these things, to whatever. So it's a hopeful space with lots of bubbling ideas and stuff. But yeah, time's a bitch.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm good.
Time's a bitch.
Yeah. But other than the work, what would you call it? The work pandemics.
Yeah. No, me, I'm alright. I'm alright. I could do with a bit more scratch, but
yeah,
the more scratch I make, the more
the quicker it goes. Yeah.
Yeah. So
what is that about?
I've got to be honest. I'm enjoying the experience of life at the moment. The good, the bad, the ugly.
Yeah.
I'm taking it in stride, and I can't complain.
Yeah, things have been productive. For sure.
Definitely.
Plenty of things coming this way, people. So stay tuned. But other than that, follow us at Vexxed Uncensored. That's Instagram, YouTube, everywhere. We're going visual soon. Keep your eye out for that. And we'll catch you next episode.
Take care. Have a good week.
Bye.
Here at Vexxed Uncensored, we strive to be our best selves, whatever that means for us. So we couldn't be happier to partner up with medical tourism company Pure Ada. They provide a variety of healthcare services, from everything including eye care, gastric band surgery, stem cell therapy, hair transplants, and a wide range of specialist treatments, all taken care of in the best clinics and hospitals Turkey has to offer. They have many insurance options to find the best fit for you, and to find out more, either contact us on social media or head over to pureada.co.